But I think that I don't know, Buffalo's just riding the wave right now based off emotions, Damar Hamlin. So I think they got this. I don't see it.
We're going to get into that.
Let's jump right in. Oh, and here we go. We're jumping right in. It's The Hook. It's Tuesday night. It's 8 o'clock on Bones, Smitty, Kev, Mike, and Rupaha getting it in. Hey, boys.
Oh,
here we go. We're jumping right in. It's The Hook.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yep.
Salutations, everyone. Welcome back to The Hook. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to The Hook. Let's get it. Ray, what you got?
Oh, we got a whole slate for you today. I was trying to share it. Sorry for that little interruption that's still happening right now. It's still going on. We got some. We're going to break down the weekend. What happened? What happened to your Giants? What happened to Dakota? Bill O'Brien just got hired today. Pat's OC. Is Joey B that guy? Patrick Mahomes, big injury. So I think we should just start it off right off the rip. Mr. Smith. What is that? Who is that? I can hear somebody going on right now. It ain't me. So listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna ask Smitty, what the heck happened to Danny Dimes? Did he leave his change in his pocket in the city?
All right. So first of all,
Yes.
you're the dude that called Daniel Jones Vanilla Vic.
I did not call him Vanilla Vic. They make T-shirts with his name Vanilla Vic on there.
You brought that to the table, my man. So
I
that's number one. Number two, Daniel Jones. I said it all along. I still believe in Daniel Jones. However, we were exposed. We were inconsistent all year long. If you remember very well, the previous episode, you stated that the receiving core for the New York Giants were something special.
Special. I didn't say they were special.
What did you say?
I was questioning the ability of the quarterback by stating that these players, they don't have the right guy throwing them the football. They were getting open. Danny Dimes. I watched Tom Brady for years not have wide receivers. There's no excuses for throwing wide receivers under the bus like that. No excuse.
So what you're saying is that Richie James
had a heck of a game. He's been performing for the last 8 weeks of the season.
Hodges,
one catch for 4 yards.
Galladay.
Who is that?
And we can keep going on and on and on. Bottom line is that I'm proud of my team. Am I disappointed? I am. But at the same time, it was a Cinderella story. It came to an end. We have to continue rebuilding.
The glass slipper is broke.
I believe that Saquon, they're going to probably either franchise tag him or the other way around. I want both of those players to stay around, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, Philadelphia, they've been a strong team in that conference, in the league. So for us to go from, what was our record last year, 4-12 to this year, and Brian Daboll, possibly the head coach of the year, and you might disagree with that because you believe that the Philadelphia Eagles coach could be the head coach of the year, correct?
There's no reason why he can't be in the conversation, though.
Okay, with all those weapons.
The Philadelphia Eagles were 9-8 last year. They were 9-8. They went 14-3. They improved by 5 games, just as many games as the Giants improved, by the way.
So wait a minute, were they in the playoffs last year?
The Philadelphia Eagles, did they make the playoffs last year at 9-8? Did they make the playoffs?
I believe they did.
I don't remember.
I believe they did.
Does it pop your head like that? Did the Eagles make the playoffs last year?
Let me go ahead and do a little bit of research here.
I don't think they did.
I don't think the NFC was loaded. The NFC was loaded last year. The Cowboys
won the division.
It's not as competitive, but
no,
it's not as competitive.
The Cowboys won the division. I'm pretty sure they're the only team that went. If I'm wrong, somebody correct us. There's always somebody that will.
Be a good time to interject that Mr. Hurts accomplished something that an Alabama QB has not done in 40 years, and that's win a playoff game.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
That's-
Whatever else they do, Boomer Sooner, right? He's a two teams for that man. Two teams
Right.
for this man.
So the last time the Eagles made the playoffs was in 2021. So I stand corrected on that. However, we were a terrible team last year. That's my whole point.
No, and I agree.
A new culture came in. We're still in the rebuilding phase. I mean, as a Giants fan, like I said, I'm proud of my team, and we'll move forward. That's it.
For sure. For sure.
Big decisions there, though, Ray, because they have to look at their rival right in Dallas as to why you don't panic and sign a running back to dumb money. Like, you can get running backs in the draft all over the place. You don't need to spend $100 million on a running back. I agree with that. I know everybody loves Saquon. I think he was awesome this year. But I just would be very careful. They offered him $12 million. He rejected it. I think he wants the 16 that McCaffrey's getting. I'm not paying a running back that much money. You have to address the interior offensive line. They need a wide receiver. They need guys on defense. They need, obviously, that you saw with what happened. The Philadelphia Eagles ran it right down their throat.
Mm.
And everybody knows that this roster is incomplete. What they've done. This is my whole point with the Giants, guys. Is yes, there's Daboll's the coach of the year. Let's get that out of there. The Giants for the last decade have been a joke.
And I love
what
it.
He's done to turn them around this year has been incredible. Now, moving forward, this is a smart group in charge of the Giants. They will make smart decisions. They won't do what Jerry Jones did. I can promise you that. But now I can't even really say rebuilding. The Giants made the playoffs and won a playoff game. Now it's about adding to their roster, and it's about filling in those cracks. But I would not sign Barkley to a $16 million a year. I would not do that.
No. So Kev, you are correct. He declined the $12 million offer that the Giants had made him. Now I was reading an article that he is willing to take a pay cut to stay with the organization.
Why?
Because it's a different culture. I tell you why.
You know what? It is, but you still have to play against the Philadelphia Eagles, who I believe are going to be the team in the division for a few years.
Yep.
If Washington
we'll see about that. We'll see about that if the Cowboys keep the coda.
Right. Listen, right now, it's not even close. The roster, like what you saw the other, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but to your point, if you don't look at the way they played the Philadelphia Eagles, and you don't think that the Eagles are so far ahead, and they've got a top 10 pick.
Right.
I mean, they're going to end up. They could get Miles Murphy. They could get. Whoa, can they get? They could get a corner. So go ahead, but I'm just saying, the talent disparity ain't even close.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, if I was Saquon and I wanted to win, I'm not going to stay with the Giants. I just think that's probably going to be. It could possibly be one of the tougher divisions in the NFL for a couple of years. I mean, the Cowboys are built for success. They really are.
He should go up north, Saquon. You want to win? Because
that would be a prime spot.
Bro, that team needs a run. If you don't look at the way the Bills lost, if you don't look at the way the Bills lost and realize that their quarterback is not going to make it 5 more years running the ball like he did all year, they need a running back. They need a horse, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Listen, speaking of horses, Jalen Hurts is a horse, right? He threw for 154 yards. He ran the ball 9 times for 34 yards. But Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell rushed for 202 yards together, right up the middle of that Giants defense. So great job. Hurts obviously was able to stay out of the tent. And Philly's going to go into San Francisco's going to come to Philly this weekend, and it's going to be a freaking matchup. This could be the best game of the season, to be honest.
Dougie Fresh just said that Philly's losing Kelsey and Lane Johnson next year.
Well, they may replace that at the 10th pick, and they may get Paris Johnson, or they might get Skronsky, the kid from Northwestern. I mean, that's true. Again, they're the left tackle and the left guard, awesome. I don't know if Kelsey's going to retire. If they get him back next year, great. He was all pro. Lane Johnson, you can replace him in the draft with that high pick. I just feel like Philly is so advanced. Their roster is. Howie Roseman deserves a tip of the cap from all of us because what he did in a 2-year span, incredible. And he rebuilt them 2 years.
And they're pretty young, right? I mean, they don't got too much old money on there. I mean, they're probably playing the younger guys relatively little money.
It's a mix. It's a good mix.
Listen, big things for the Giants need to happen in the offseason. Another NFC East team played. This team showed up on one side of the ball. Dakota, Smitty, your boy Dakota. He forgot what he was doing on Sunday. Maybe that.
Of course, we're going to zoom in on the quarterback. All right. The defense, Dallas's defense.
Yeah, it hurts. Very, very disappointed. We weren't able to come out this one. Disappointed in my play. Disappointed for the guys in the locker room. Special team, really is. Guys that do things the right way, prepare the right way, believe in each other, a lot of love. And, it's unfortunate. It sucks.
Sorry to cut you off there, Smitty, but I got it.
No, that's all right. Was that Jack?
That was Dakota. Now, does that sound like a quarterback you want leading your franchise? It sucks. Anybody?
I sent you guys that this afternoon that, he threw his helmet after the game and it got intercepted.
Love the Cowboy memes. They've been on fire all week.
It depended on what Dak showed up. 2 weeks ago he showed up and look what they did.
I think you know what. And
Benefit
like I
of
said,
shitty defenses. Go ahead, Smitty.
of course they're going to zoom in on the quarterback. Of course, Rain is going to take all the pressure, like Dougie just said. But when Tony Pollard went down, right?
Yep.
What did they adjust? Did you guys see any adjustments on that game?
They couldn't adjust.
What happened to Ezekiel? Ezekiel was snapping the ball the last play. What happened to their running backs?
Oh, he got blown the hell up.
He's done.
So Ezekiel is hurt. He's done. You're saying he's done. He
ain't the same player he used to be, and that is why the Giants shouldn't sign Barkley to a crazy contract. This is my exact point.
Well, let's not compare Saquon to Ezekiel. I think Ezekiel had his better years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Saquon,
he led the
I
league
believe.
in rushing. Has Barkley ever?
No, Saquon he hasn't been healthy to lead the league in rushing.
But I don't think Kev's point is about the skill of the player. I think it's about the committing so much money to an asset that
and I don't think the Giants will commit that much money. If he wants more money, then he's going to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So, I mean, back to Dallas. I mean, I think that, yes, Dakota had a lot to do with it. Dakota can't win big games. But at the same time, I think it was the offense as a unit. The defense showed up. They played. They kept them in the game. Yep. But I think the receivers did some dumb moves. I mean, they have a number one receiver. What's his name? CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
By the way, did anybody see Fred Warner cover CeeDee Lamb down the field?
Yes. He's a dog. That guy's a dog.
Your middle linebacker is covering your best wide receiver, probably top 7 in the league this year. Top 7 wide receiver.
He wasn't a high draft pick either.
CeeDee Lamb. Wow.
No. He's
Fred
a BYU kid.
Yeah. What? So I guess the big thing, staying on the Cowboys game quick was, the Purdy against Parsons and Lawrence coming off the edge. Shanahan, I'm not really quite sure what he was doing in the first half because they stayed running the ball around the edge, wearing them out. Second half, obviously, things changed, adjustments. But do you think it was smart for Shanahan to keep the game so tight in a sense where why not just unleash your offense and let your quarterback do what he's been doing for the last like 7 to 8 weeks?
It's a good question, actually.
Well, I mean, I don't want to ask a stupid one. So
Well,
thank you.
No,
But-
I
but
mean, I think it's a
you want to
fair
know what?
question.
Like on that point, though, Ray. I mean, do you think like everybody was worried about maybe Purdy, dropping an egg finally, and maybe Shanahan's the one that almost dropped that egg rather than Purdy?
But that's a problem, because if your quarterback hasn't dropped the egg yet, let him turn the ball over once, and then you can make your game plan adjustments. One turnover is not going to kill you,
Right.
but give him an opportunity to ball. Like, let him get some confidence going. Now you're going into the NFC Championship game against a very tough Philadelphia defense that their secondary is very good.
Very good.
They're going to have to run the ball. They'll probably run the ball right up the middle and go that route, but let your quarterback get some confidence. I would have tried to get him going into this game. You know what I mean? Win that game against a good defense, build it up. Now you're playing the best defense in the NFL. Along next to yours. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be another challenge.
Well, what you said about, Shanahan is interesting because, throughout his career, even as a play caller, when he's gotten the lead, he takes the foot off the gas. You remember in the Super Bowl with the Pats and the Falcons. But I'm talking about, remember when he was in the Super Bowl against Kansas City? They had opportunities. They were so vanilla. Speaking about vanilla, Vic, he's a vanilla play caller in certain situations. And in big games, sometimes he does do different stuff that almost has you shaking your head. And I guess to answer the question, he does, I think, need to be more aggressive at Philadelphia, especially with those dogs.
I think, I don't know. I don't know what Shanahan was thinking, but in my opinion, I think it was more, he was going with the flow of the game. And being that Purdy is inexperienced in the playoffs, I think he was saying, you know what? If we need to go in here, we need to be more aggressive. They can switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Speaking of aggressive, I'm gonna go back to my team because I'm still traumatized from that 4th and 8 play. So I gotta vent a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad you're bringing that up, actually, because that screwed the whole game up. Go ahead.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know what, Dable, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I'll ride with him and I'll die with him. You know what I mean? So I think that all year long he's been playing aggressive. If they would have made that first down in the 4th and 8, I believe
First possession.
I believe that I get it. You know what I'm saying? And this is the reason why I'm bringing that game up, because I think Shanahan went the conservative route. You know what I mean? So even though they were at home, and if they would have made that first down, I think the momentum would have changed a little bit.
Sure.
I think it was dumb. I love Brian Daboll. 4th and 8. For his 4th and 8, dude. Like, that's
But
on
you
the
know
first
what?
possession of the game. Dude, I love Daboll, but there's a difference between being aggressive and being crazy.
I get what you're saying. Unfortunately, analytics, which I'm not a big fan of, analytics say the percentage. I was reading the percentage. I forgot what it was. That
1%.
No, it's a higher percentage to go for it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not
why.
against that defense. Those
Yeah.
numbers got to be skewed against that defense. 3
Yeah.
guys over 10 sacks.
Well, yeah. No, the other problem is that when you watch your defense let the offense drive right down the field and score a touchdown, and you're at the 50, do you want to put your defense in that position to try to only defend half the field when you just gave up the whole field?
Yeah,
That was my question. Like, you just
I
watched.
get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but then again, as a coach, maybe he had, he wanted the defense to show them that he had confidence in them. You know what I mean?
Listen, that backfired. He had his,
Absolutely.
Hey, he had his Brandon Staley moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about
yeah,
that.
that was
He had his Brandon
I don't
Staley.
know about that, bro.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
That was it. That was it. Analytics.
I don't know about that.
Brandon
But anyways.
Staley's one of those guys. Brandon Staley's one of those guys too,
Bro, if the ball was on the Eagles' 18-yard line and he wants to go for it, then that's one thing. You don't do it at midfield on the first possession against that team in that place. I don't care what the numbers say.
That was a tough one.
That's a learning experience.
Yeah, learning experience.
That's not why they lost, though. They lost because they got a team. If you
Philly was a better team.
If you go position by position, find me the position group that the
Oh my
Giants
God.
have that are better than the Eagles, because it should be a quick answer.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts was 100%.
And he was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You look great. Hey, good things. Good things for Philadelphia. San Francisco's in trouble.
You think San Fran's in trouble?
I think it. I mean, I'm still taking the Niners. But it's going to be It's going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch
You
it.
think San
I'm
Fran's
taking
in
the
trouble?
Eagles.
You taking the Eagles? That's
Yep.
what's up. That's what's up. I like
No,
that.
they've got to play.
Listen.
They're going to have to play a perfect game.
So listen, the last time Purdy and Hurts played were in college.
Yeah.
Purdy was in Iowa State.
Yep.
And Hurts was in Oklahoma.
Blowout.
Did you guys? No, it wasn't a blowout. It was
No?
a close game.
Wow.
It was a close game. You should have seen that kid Purdy go off on that game.
He
Because
did.
Oklahoma had a big lead.
And Oklahoma had way more talent than Iowa State.
What
Oh
was
yeah,
it? Who won the matchup? Obviously, Oklahoma won, right?
Oklahoma won.
Yeah.
They both,
I- I
they
was-
it was
both
an interesting-
quarterbacks were outstanding, though.
It was an interesting game.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a question, and it might be a little far fetched, but why not? Let's jump into the Buffalo game. Buffalo, Cincy. Joe Burrow is the guy. He's the dude. Watch
Yeah.
out, everybody.
Dog.
Oh yeah.
You know, every time you say that, it backfires. Because you said Dak is back, and look what happened to Dak.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow was there last year, and he did it without an offensive line, and he just beat Buffalo in Buffalo.
Without an
and the
offensive
guy-
line.
Yeah,
Guys-
this week,
The guy's
this
just a
week he
winner.
was missing 3 of his linemen.
Yeah, he's just a winner. He's a grinder. He's unbelievable. I love Joe Burrow. He's my favorite quarterback in the NFL right now. It's not even close. But is Josh Allen the next Jim Kelly? Is that what's happening in Buffalo right now? Smitty, you're laughing. I'll take your answer.
I don't
first.
think so, man. I don't think so. I mean, listen, the Buffalo Bills, the Jim Kelly's Buffalo Bills, those were teams, man. They had talent, those teams. You know, things didn't go well for those teams. You know,
Yeah,
but
because
I
of who they
think that
played.
yeah, that's true. And listen, I'll focus on one Super Bowl, you know, and it was against the Giants. That was
they had a
luck.
shot.
That was luck. You know what I mean? I think that they were better than my team that year. And they could have won that if it wasn't for their kicker.
Norwide,
Yes.
Scott Norwide. Was it wide left or wide?
Norwood. Scott
Wide
Norwood.
left.
Yeah, and
Nor
listen,
wide. Ah,
Kev brought it up earlier too, but you know, and I think the thing with Buffalo and Allen is, listen, he's a stud, but those guys that run around and cross the line of scrimmage and get beat up, the window for them or him suffering a major injury is small.
Yep.
Like you know, that's not a long prosperous position when you're going head first into some of those big boys and getting smacked around. So, you know, there's
he's
an
running a
injury
lot.
to be had there.
And Russ, why did they lose the game? They lost the game because everybody, and I know Burrow's a dog. They lost the game because they couldn't run the ball, and the other team ran for 172 yards, and Mixon ran for 105. That is the difference in the game.
That's
Yes.
terrible.
That's just
That's
they need a
terrible.
running back up there.
Saquon.
Saquon might go to Buffalo.
He's staying in New York, but he's traveling to Buffalo.
Saquon might go to upstate Buffalo. Yep. Upstate New York. Yep.
New York.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Niners are traveling to Philly. Right now, Philly's a 2.5-point favorite, 46.5 OU. What do you guys think? Russ, I'll start with you.
I'm going to stick with my man Purdy. I like him. You know, I mean, it's all going to ride on what Hurts does or if they can slow him down. But I mean, until Purdy falls off, I think he's legit, man. He's proven himself so far. So I'll go with the Niners.
Kev?
Eagles.
High score, low score?
God. 28-24 kind of
Okay.
deal.
Over. Smitty?
Bang, bang. Niner game.
Bang.
Gotta stick with the Niners. And I'll tell you what, because you know what? You know, we're talking about Philly's defense, Dallas's defense, but we're not talking about San Francisco's defense.
Hmm.
and they have a good offense too. So I
They do.
think that even though they played Dallas conservatively, if the Eagles want to have a shootout, I don't think San Francisco is going to back down. Also, I believe that San Francisco is a little bit more disciplined than the Eagles as far as their head coach is concerned. Just
Ooh.
my take on it. My humble take
That's
on it.
interesting because I disagree. I think that
That's okay.
Kyle Shanahan has proven to be unaggressive and made more mistakes in big spots as a coach and an offensive coordinator, and he's great. I'm not saying he's not. He is. But I'm concerned if they come out and take the lead, I'm still concerned. I've seen his teams blow leads all the time in big spots. And I just think Philadelphia being at home, it's huge. I love Hurts. I just, again, this is going to be an all-out war. It's going to be awesome, man. But, look, this is one of those games. Hurts drops back, a couple turnovers. I mean, they lost at home to Washington, and Washington ran the ball 150 times against them. They hardly passed, controlled the ball. If there's something like that that's like out of the ordinary, I can see it. But I just feel like Philly's on a mission to get to the Super Bowl. I don't know that they'll win it, but we'll see.
See, my hope is that Shanahan took his foot off the gas last week, and hopefully it was enough of a message for him to listen, go do what you're doing and what you've been doing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, but you can't change up, halfway through the playoffs.
Yeah. No. He's been aggressive. He's been aggressive all season, especially the last part of the year. They've been scoring 30-plus points a game. Let Purdy play. Give the ball to who you have to give the ball to. You have people all over the field. Philly's going to have their hands full with Debo, Ayuk. Kittle is probably going to go absolutely bonkers. Kittle's going to have the best game out of all of them. He's going to go
That
nuts.
guy's a beast.
But
That guy's a
I don't know who's covering him. That's a great point. I don't know who's covering him.
No, but
Hey,
nobody's going to cover him. Then you got to worry about
speaking of-
McCaffrey. Are you kidding me?
Speaking of Kittles, let me ask you guys a question, only because I don't know if the video was real or not, but the catch that he made that bounced off his face mask,
That was real.
right? But that he shouldn't have been an eligible receiver.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He was covered up on the end and shouldn't have been eligible.
I have not heard that at all. That is a phenomenal point.
I saw the video. I saw the video, and 44 has him covered up on the line, and then he breaks.
Well, that's
out.
on the Dallas staff. Then the Dallas staff should have realized that's the playoffs. Like they should have said, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's on them.
Listen, he should have caught that ball anyway. I think it was Trayvon. Was it Diggs that was right there? He should have. He should have blown him into smithereens. I mean, that dude was. He was a kill shot, and they didn't even touch him, which was a disappointment. I mean, it's the playoffs at that point. You know what? Take the 15-yarder.
Liskey
up to 35.
Liskey designated Shanahan as a clown, but he's smart as hell.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yep.
Joe's a little upset. He said, Dallas, fire them all.
And that's another good question is Dallas. Let me make my prediction first, but I'm taking the Niners 27-20. Bang, bang, like Smitty said. I'm going Niners. I was happy with Philly last week. They did their job. Your job is done. Get out. So listen, a big thing this week, obviously this past weekend, besides the blowout that I enjoyed watching. By the way, I had everybody upset. Not upset. And I got a lot of FUs, Ray, and go home and everything else. Anyway, but I did tell you, Smitty, I walked in the door and I said, I'm here to ruin your night. That was true.
You did tell me that.
And that was true too.
And that made you feel better?
Oh, I felt great. Are you kidding me? You couldn't
As
have
a
wiped
Pats
smile
fan.
off my face.
As a Pats fan, you hate the New York Giants.
Oh,
Not
absolutely.
the Jets.
Just
not
like
the
Pinstripes.
Bills.
Just like the Pinstripes too. I don't like the Jets either. I don't know why. They stink, but I don't like them. But the biggest thing this week, Patrick Mahomes, high ankle sprain, came out of the game, put up a fight. What a fighter he is. Then he comes back into the game. Did not look like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, how do you think this is going to affect the game on Sunday against the Bengals?
Bengals.
Has there been any updates on Patrick Mahomes?
Last I saw was high ankle sprain, and I'm sure they're going to wrap the shit out of that. Huh?
No break, high ankle sprain.
Yeah, he's playing. Obviously, he ain't gonna sit this one out. It's the biggest game of the year.
This is hard, man. How can it not affect the game? It has to, because his ability not to run, but his ability to escape.
Be
But
creative.
now he's going to have to stand there, and that puts a lot of pressure on everybody. It really does, And it's his drive leg, so that's another issue.
And can they protect him if he stands there?
Right. Well, we're going to find out. I mean, to answer the question, I don't know how, and I don't think anybody wouldn't agree. I don't know how this doesn't affect the game. It does. It directly affects it. Then if he can't go, or God forbid he gets landed on again, and then you're going Chad Henne. I'm going with the Bengals in this game. I picked Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl.
So did I.
I think and I think if he was healthy, I think they would have beat. I really do think they would have beat him. And I love Joe Burrow, but now that's a huge, huge issue. I don't feel comfortable picking Kansas City.
But I don't believe Joe Burrow has ever lost to Kansas City, and I think they're going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they played once this year already, and Cincinnati did win. It was at home. It was 27-24 game. And Burrow didn't do anything crazy. 286 yards, a couple touches. Perrine went. Yeah, that was Joe Mixonless Bengal team too, but he rushed for 100 yards. So they rushed for 150 yards against Kansas City at home. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's going to be unfortunate.
Burrows has a 3-0 record against Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yep. He's the dude, man. You know who he is right now? He's like Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning.
Dude, it really is.
Early in his career.
Yep.
I said Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm rescinding that. Only because and obviously Vegas knows as well, right? Because I like to talk Vegas.
Yep.
And now the spread is, and when's the last time Kansas City's been a home in the AFC Championship game and been an underdog? Bengals are a 2-point favorite, 46.5 OU. Still taking the Bengals. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored. I think Kansas City is not going to be able to keep up with Joey B. I see another 27, 24, 24-17, something, 24-10 even. It's going to be a struggle for the Chiefs. Who-day.
Yeah.
Who-day. That's who I got. Who-day. Not who-dat. Who-day Hastings. Who-day.
Yep.
Smitty, who do you got?
KC's playing at home. Mahomes, we don't know his status. KC 24-21.
That's ballsy. That is, you know what? I love it.
That could be the pick of the year. Or it could wind up like the Giants game.
I'm still riding.
Yo, ride or die. I like
That's
it. Russ, you said Bengals, right?
Yes, sir.
You got a score prediction? You got any numbers?
I think it's going to be higher than that. I think they're still going to score either Cincinnati's going to score up in the 30s or, like a 35-24 type.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen,
without Mahomes,
I like the
Kev brought it up before though. It's a completely different game plan if Mahomes can't escape from the pocket. They're trying something new in the AFC Championship game. If you've seen him last week, he threw a screen pass into the dirt because he couldn't plant off of his back foot. So and now he's not running on adrenaline. Now he's had a week of hobbling around on that thing. So, unless he has a miraculous recovery where he can go out there and run all over the field, I think Cincy's gonna run away with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're
31-20, Ray, by the way. 31-20.
You like 31-20, Cincy. Yeah, they're gonna need a big game out of their running backs. Big games out of their running backs. Liskey, if you're on still, throw me who you like. You like the over the under too, because I know Neil pays attention pretty closely to some of these scores and spreads and stuff.
Yep.
But
he's just gonna pick the opposite of what I want anyway. So
he will be injected with miracle juice.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Uh-oh. I still think he's taking Cincy though. You're not taking the Chiefs, are you, Neil? He says points. Oh, a ton of points. Okay. All right. I'm not going that way. I'm going Oppo.
Yeah.
I'm going Oppo for that game. I'm not sure why. That's just a feeling I have, and I've had a lot of losers, so I could.
I think Miracle Juice is secret for crystal meth or something.
Oh, they're going to shoot him up. No, they're going to shoot it. Dude, remember when Ray Lewis played a playoff game with a torn pec? They're going to shoot him up. Whether he can plant, it ain't about that. It's about if he can plant. Because I don't care what you shoot in your leg. It still feels kind of weak.
Neil just said that KC can't stop nosebleeds.
We'll see.
Nosebleeds.
No.
Hey, so real quick, this is just real quick. Tony Romo's playoff record was 2-4.
He is covered up by this man. He is an ineligible fucking receiver. He's blocking. Got away with ineligible receiver down the field. He should have never been able to touch that ball.
All right. Well, there you have it. Matt Gauthier just sent me a text message. Thank you, Matt, for sending that. Yeah, he was definitely ineligible.
But
Great.
like Kev said, it's the opponent's responsibility to pick up on that, right?
Yep, agreed.
So, anyways,
can you challenge that though? Can you challenge? Maybe I'm wrong. I just thought that the Cowboys would have gone nuts on the sideline because they're supposed to have someone there counting all that stuff, paying attention.
Well, Mike McCarthy isn't exactly, stellar, I guess.
But is that? But I think Kev's point is that's not Mike McCarthy. There's somebody that is watching that, not Mike McCarthy.
Yeah,
somebody solely assigned to that.
Yeah. Well, as the head coach, I feel like you got your hands mixed in everything, and I don't know.
Somebody's got to see it. Somebody with a star on their helmet or a hat with a star has to be able to hit the button and go, Mike, ineligible.
Yeah, they made sure to announce that Ezekiel Elliott wasn't eligible when he was snapping the ball.
Listen, that's not a star; it's a rating.
Yes.
Oh wow.
But we already know that. Smitty, where were you going with what you were saying? I'm sorry.
I was saying that Tony Romo is 2-4, was 2-4 in the playoff record, 0-3 in the divisional round, and so is Dak Prescott.
I don't understand though. Yeah, but I don't understand. I know he turned the ball over, and I know he was inconsistent this year, but I really don't think. I think you can win with him. I think it's everything else around him. They need a big receiver. I love Lamb and I love Schultz, and Schultz drives me nuts, but he's a good player. But they need a guy like they couldn't afford Amari Cooper. They need that other guy that could make contested catches or run a route, or they just need that other guy. And they need another guy that can run the ball. They need to get rid of Elliott, and then they need to make some adjustments. But I just think the Cowboys will never win big as long as the structure in the organization stays the way it is. Jerry Jones needs to be the owner. He needs to hire a general manager. I know he's 80 and he's on the way out, but the structure, having the owner pay the players, having all that politics, I just don't think they're never going to win with that format. And I'll stand by that.
So you think Prescott is capable of winning in the big lights, big situations? You think he's capable of winning, given all the resources that you gave?
Capable of it. I think he's capable of it. I think he had a bad year this year. I think he's capable. I hate Dallas. I hate saying this, but I do think he's capable, dude. Again, everybody sat here this year that loves the Giants, including me. And what did we do? We complimented Daniel Jones, who set an NFL record for turnovers at the start of his career. This guy was a mess. And I know all the coaching changes. I get all that. But everybody, Geno Smith, like these guys, not everybody has immediate success, and everybody gives up on people fast. And everybody's really reactionary, right? So the Cowboys played like crap against Washington. And everybody said, oh, my God. Then they come out the next week, and Dak Prescott plays really well, and they beat Tom Brady. What does everybody say another week? They say, "Oh my God, this team could go to the Super Bowl when they play like this."
They
Then
say that
come
every
out-
year about the Cowboys. Every
Right.
year they
No,
say
no,
that
no.
about the Cowboys.
Listen. I get it. All I'm saying is I think he's capable. I think.
Okay,
he's capable.
so how much is Dak Prescott getting paid?
A
Do we
lot.
know? A lot, right?
Was he the second or third highest quarterback paid, or is he that high? Right?
Yeah.
That man is getting paid a lot of money to produce. The owner believes in him.
Yeah.
How many years has Dak Prescott been with that organization?
Okay, but he's also been hurt.
Yeah, but you brought up Daniel Jones and you brought up Geno Smith. These quarterbacks who we know that they're not top tier quarterbacks. They will never be top tier quarterbacks.
My point was is that everybody. I'm not even going there with super. My point is that you can't always just give up on people, and everybody wants to give up on this guy. 1 week Dak stinks. The next week Dak's great. The next week they go to the Super Bowl. The next week he stinks and we need to get a new quarterback.
You
Good
sound like
luck.
a Cowboys fan.
Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl. 1. Remember that.
All right. Quick question. First of all, we got about 4 minutes left. Is it fair to compare Dak to Kirk Cousins?
At this point, because he's when you lose in the postseason, I think it's fair.
Okay. I agree.
I think he's better than Kirk Cousins.
All right, we got about 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. Smitty, throw some fire out there. What's on your brain?
I'm looking forward to this weekend coming up. I think the 49ers are hot. They're going to keep rolling in Philly. It's going to be a close game, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be like an old school football game. You know, hard hitting football. I can't wait. And that other game, Kansas City and Cincinnati, that's going to be a toss up, but I'm going to ride with Patrick Mahomes.
I like it.
I think San Francisco and Eagles are tight, but I think San Francisco wins. And I think if Mahomes was healthy, it'd be another battle out there in KC, but I think Cincinnati's going to run away with it.
Right. I didn't think Jalen Hurts was healthy coming into the postseason. I picked Kansas City and I picked San Francisco in the Super Bowl. I picked against Kansas City because of the health of Mahomes. I picked Philadelphia because I think that slightly being at home gives them an advantage. I think Hurts is healthy. Could I be wrong? Hell yeah. I was wrong about the Giants, but that's my opinion. I think that, it's going to be a great weekend, great couple games, and then we got a big game to talk about.
Big one.
Real
Super
big.
Bowl, couple weeks. We didn't touch on it, but I wanted to mention it. Something to think about. You guys can hit me up in a message, whatever, later on, or give me quick feedback. But Bill O'Brien signed with the Pats today, and at first I was a little bummed out, like, man. And then I did a little research, and I'm not bummed out. I'm actually excited to see Bill O'Brien back in New England, and to see, I think Bill's gonna let him run. Belichick is gonna let Bill take care of that offense, and we're gonna get back to having a top 5 offense in the NFL. Hopefully, maybe this year, maybe in 2 years. But we have 2 great tight ends that Bill O'Brien is absolutely gonna love and adore, and he's gonna get these guys the ball. Going back to 2011, I did look at some team stats. Welker had 173 targets. Aaron Hernandez had 112 and Gronk had 90. So between the 2 tight ends, you're talking 200 targets. We have those guys right now in New England to make it happen.
Ray. I'm going to tell you this before we go. I think the Patriots are going to draft Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame.
I like it.
And I think that Jonnu Smith hasn't done a lot, and Hunter Henry is a veteran now. I don't think he's the same player, but that dude, then we can talk about tight ends.
Do they keep Patricia and Judge or send them packing?
I'd get rid of them, but we'll see. Get rid of them.
All right, boys.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure as always. We'll see you next Tuesday night.
Peace.
Great one.